September 1st, 1939 was probably the most important date to this law firm and also to me. It was the date my father saw fit to leave the firm he was with and start the firm that became Levinson Axelrod. He had left a job and frankly had very little money, and he had 3 rooms over a store on Smith Street in Perth Amboy. My father opened the firm. It was anything to make a living, and about all he got was foreclosure cases, because in 1939, things weren't very good in the United States. He wasn't happy with that. He wasn't happy with that because people weren't very happy to get foreclosed. Fortunately, in the next year, in 40, he did get a very difficult workers' comp case. He tried it, won it, and that person felt obligated and brought hundreds of other clients in, and I mean hundreds, over the next decade. That client was probably responsible for the comp practice. Alfred Levinson was a unique person. He was good-humored at all times. Everybody liked him. His adversaries liked him. He was popular in the courts, and he was always willing to talk to everybody, to share his knowledge, and always here to talk about any problem that you had. He could handle any kind of case, and often did. He was a real expert on medicine and medical injuries. When my uncle came along, he got a number of jury trials. He had a number of good verdicts, and that success breeds success. He's the one that is responsible for seeing that we went from 3 lawyers to 25 lawyers. He taught me anything and everything that I know, and I don't know without him when, if ever, I would have developed into any kind of a lawyer. I graduated at Columbia and took the bar, and I was with the law firm the next day. There was really nobody there except my father and my uncle, so that I gave them some manpower because they were busy. The firm really started to grow in the early 60s, in that the workers' comp practice was still big, and it stayed big, but it produced a lot of other work. Workers' comp produced a lot of the jury trials that we had. We moved the office from Perth Amboy to Edison in 1980. Edison was much more central than Perth Amboy, and it was easier to get people to come to the office. But in 1985, we started to realize that things were changing in the country. People didn't want to go 10, 15, 20 miles to get to a law firm. So we decided that one of the places to go was Monmouth County, and we got our office in Howell at that time, and shortly thereafter in Forked River. Along about the same time, we opened the Flemington office. That happened because I personally moved to Hunterdon County, and people were constantly coming to my house, and we felt it was probably a good idea to get an office. And we got that office in around the late 80s, and subsequently bought our current location in 1990. Axelrod's a fellow that I miss every single day. The best trial lawyer that I ever came across, and this is shared by many, many other people. He was a legend. He was exciting in the courtroom. He was exciting in the office. You never knew what Bob was going to do, but Mr. Axelrod, whatever he was going to do, was going to maximize a result in a case. He was wonderful to be around. He always had ideas. He always had a smile, and people loved him just as the people in the office did. He was, as I say, Mr. Excitement, and to this day, judges that he appeared before tell me that there was only one Bob Axelrod. There will never, as far as they're concerned, be a better one. I would hope that people would remember that it was a firm that was always there for the clients and always there for the victim. They were willing to listen. They were willing to do what was necessary. We do it now. People like Pat Flynn, Mike Fusco will carry on and do exactly the same things we did because they've been trained in a certain way, just as we were, and they'll continue to train the next group that way, and they'll all be here to do the right job for victims.